this moment a few times. Oh, how's everybody doing today? I have a relatively new guilty pleasure. The kind of thing that has become what we call the sausage egg McMuffin of my day, you know? That thing that you enjoy tremendously, but you kind of hide from other people when you're doing it. I now subscribe and devour Oprah magazine. How many of you out there are Oprah fans? And the reason that I enjoy it so much is because somehow over the course of the last few decades, I have gotten sucked into reading only fashion magazines with skinny little models with thighs that can't possibly support a real woman's body next to these incredibly insincere articles about how you should accept yourself as you are. And I'm just kind of sick of it. So when I read Oprah, it will feature real women with real thighs and with interesting articles about something other than how they look. And a few years ago, her magazine published an anniversary issue, and it featured something I loved. It was called Life's Little Shortcuts to Happiness. And what they did was they featured different experts in different fields. Susie Orman's 10 Steps to Financial Freedom, or Dr. Oz or Dr. Phil, 10 Steps to a Physically or Mentally Healthier You. And the reason that I enjoyed it so much is because the older I get, the shorter my attention span gets, right? I don't know about you, but now I've gotten to the point where I will dial a phone number, and if it rings more than twice, I do not remember who I'm calling. And then I will say, I'm sorry, I've forgotten who I'm calling. We answered right away. No, I know, it's me, it's not you. So anything that is called 10 easy steps, 10 easy shortcuts to happiness is something I'm on board with. Homage to her. She had 3 wonderful kids who were successful, and we all wondered how did she do it all. So we went to watch her speak one day, and we said to her, "Oh, oracle of all knowledge and learning and wisdom, please tell us what is your secret." We came up to her afterwards just to get a little bit of wisdom from her. And she leaned down and looked at us and said, "Never change purses in the middle of the week." I have to tolerate my husband and my 3 teenage daughters throwing their underwear 6 inches from the laundry basket, which is infinitely more insulting than if they threw it 6 feet or 12 feet away. No, it's got to be right there, just to rub in that it doesn't matter to them, you know? Or when my children, luckily these days are slightly over, but some of you may recognize this, those little Hershey's chocolate cartons, right? And they'd leave them in the back seat of the car. And you didn't know that, but they knew it. But you'd know it the next day, right? When you'd be, what is that? Because that stuff ferments back there. Because everyone around you appears to be adding more work to your day and to your plate, right? So stop them. Stop them. Just wonderful kids, but they suck the life out of me. Like, they really do. You know? I have prosecuted triple homicides in my day. I have cross-examined murderers. I can yell without this microphone. I've brought down Colombian cartels with the federal government, but I have never been as afraid as I am of these 3 girls and of messing it up. A few years ago, I realized, I'm going to take a second to see if you can fix that feedback. You want me to go with this? Okay. Hold on. I have a wardrobe malfunction now. Hold on. Can you hear me? Okay. Turn it off. ago, I realized that although there's a value to being the captain that keeps everything moving, I don't want my kids to remember me as the person who was always barking orders, you know? And I started to realize that they're gonna remember me as the person barking orders and moving things along, and they're gonna remember my husband as a fun guy who was always running around and playing hide and seek, and while they shrieked gleefully always right before bedtime. They need to play with me, and they all need a different part of you, you know? My 13-year-old now has gotten to the age where, mercifully, she still likes me. But I don't have a long window on that. If any of you have raised children, you know you have a limited window within which to sculpt their morals and get them on the right track, get that tree bark growing nice and steady, and then let those branches reach out to the high heavens. And I'm in that little window right now. When she first started middle school, she couldn't stand it when I parked the car and got out and actually walked around the school, because apparently she wanted to pretend she was hatched from an egg, and she really didn't want, Mom, don't walk next to me, don't walk next to me, nobody does that, don't walk next to me. And then of course a couple of kids came up to her, is your mom the people's court judge? And now all of a sudden I'm like a little party favor that she gets to whip out whenever it's good for her, which is fine, I'll take whatever I can get. But daughter, a worker. Therefore, you need more than just your job, your kids, your mate. You need more. You need the kind of people who like you because you're you, as opposed to what you can produce for them. You know? The kind of people that you can commiserate with about the realities of life, that nothing is perfect and that we're all in this together. The kind of people who you can talk to about your life problems that aren't your life's problems. The kind of people who you can look at as a support group. I think of my girlfriends as a support group. I think of wine as Prozac. And they're less expensive than therapy. And they make you feel interesting and young and vital at any age. Girlfriends are very, very important. And speaking of depending, my husband has this thing he does, he's kidding, but every night when he comes home, when I'm not taping in the Northeast, when I'm home, he comes home and says, so Marilyn, what did you do today? Did you watch your telenovelas and eat bonbons? Which is a joke, because he knows that my to-do list roll like 8 miles long. So in my effort to prove to him how industrious I was, I will start rattling off everything I did. And you know what? I felt good. I felt like, oh yeah, I did get a lot done. Instead of focusing on what I didn't get done, I focused on what I did. So it's become a nightly ritual for me. As I'm winding down, I say to myself, okay, what got done today? And all of a sudden I feel like, how can any mere mortal expect to do anything more than that? Which brings me to rule number 9. Again, I can't believe I have to talk to the doctors again. This is so stressful. No, you're blessed to be able to be in a position to help them out the way they helped you out. And do you get tired of being always the person who said, I'm sorry? Do you get tired of feeling like you're the one compromising? No. Because you know that the reason that you're doing it is because you're trying to have a happy life and a happy marriage and a happy union with someone and have everyone who lives in that household be happier. So these aren't things that you should feel negative about. These are things that you have to approach with a much more positive attitude, so that all these things are no longer chores. They are life choices that you are blessed with. So let's enjoy ourselves today, this weekend, and let's let the next many hours be about us, shall we? Because we've earned it. And since we are in Chicago, if any of you personally know Ms. Oprah Winfrey, please let her know that we here in attendance at the Ultimate Women's Expo will focus on renewing, relaxing, and rejuvenating, right here with the best of them. Thank you for the chance to speak with you, and I'm happy to answer questions. Time to burn the midnight oil and make your name out there but I didn't feel like it was burning the midnight oil because I loved my job. I was a prosecutor under Janet Reno and I loved it. So if you have student loans that make you be where you are, okay. If that's what was available, okay. But sometime very soon, make sure you're in a place where it doesn't feel like work, because you should love what you're doing. Was a Whoopi Goldberg lookalike who was suing her talent agent for not, she had booked her at some casino and had not paid her. Whoopi's star witness was a Roseanne Barr lookalike, and the talent agent's star witness was a Joe Pesci lookalike, and the talent agent was a dead ringer from Marissa Tomei. And it was very young. I had only been on the bench, I think, less than a year. It was on the People's Court, and so it's kind of funny to re-watch that, because I'm just like my jaw's down to here the whole time, because they were all really good and they were all in character. That's probably my favorite case.
Thank you so much.
This is a particularly touchy subject with me, because